In many shows, we see characters harnessing the four elemental powers to achieve unimaginable strength. But in mythology, these elements are far more than mere forces of nature. They are sentient beings known as elemental spirits. But did you know that there's a hidden element said to be the center of these four elementals, binding the four together and considered as the source of immortality? Stay tuned as I unveil you this mysterious fifth element. But first, let's dive into the fascinating world of gnomes, sylphs, undines, and salamanders. In the heart of the dense, ancient forests and beneath the rugged, time-worn mountains of Europe, stories whisper of small, mysterious beings known as gnomes. These creatures, often depicted as the guardians of the earth's hidden treasures, have fascinated and enchanted people for centuries. The legend of gnomes can be traced back to the rich tapestry of European folklore, particularly prevalent in Germanic and Scandinavian traditions. These diminutive beings were believed to be earth spirits, responsible for the underground realms and the riches they held. The word gnome itself is thought to derive from the Greek word meaning knowledge or intelligence, reflecting the gnome's reputation as wise and ancient beings. In the early tales, gnomes were often described as small, bearded men, standing no taller than a child, dressed in simple, earthy clothes that helped them blend seamlessly with their natural surroundings. They were skilled craftsmen, miners, and guardians of precious minerals and gems, living in hidden underground lairs filled with glittering treasures. Imagine a deep, dark forest where the roots of ancient trees twist and curl like the fingers of the earth. Beneath this forest lies a network of secret tunnels and hidden chambers, the domain of the gnomes. These creatures are not just hoarders of wealth, they are its protectors. They ensure that the treasures of the earth are not easily found or exploited by humans, keeping the balance between nature and mankind. According to legend, gnomes possess a profound understanding of the earth's secrets. They know where to find the richest veins of gold, the purest crystals, and the rarest gemstones. They work tirelessly, mining and crafting, always staying out of sight. To encounter a gnome is considered a rare and fortunate event, often bringing good luck and prosperity to those who respect their wisdom and generosity. The renowned 16th century alchemist and physician Paracelsus played a significant role in popularizing the concept of gnomes as elemental spirits. Alongside undines, water spirits, sylphs, air spirits, and salamanders, fire spirits, he saw them as vital parts of the natural world, each responsible for maintaining the balance of their respective element. According to Paracelsus, gnomes were not mere mythological figures, but real beings that existed just beyond the perception of ordinary humans. As we journey through the centuries, the image of the gnome evolves but remains deeply rooted in folklore and literature. In many stories, gnomes are portrayed as benevolent beings, helping humans in times of need. They might assist with difficult tasks, offer protection, or share their vast knowledge of the earth's secrets. However, they could also be mischievous and elusive, leading those who sought their treasures on wild chases through the forest. One of the most enduring depictions of gnomes in modern literature comes from J.R.R. Tolkien's Middle-earth, where he drew inspiration from mythological creatures to create his own fantastical races. While Tolkien's dwarves are not gnomes, they share many characteristics with the traditional gnome archetype: skilled craftsmanship, a deep connection to the earth, and a penchant for hoarding treasures. In contemporary times, gnomes have found a place in popular culture, often depicted as whimsical garden ornaments. These garden gnomes, with their pointy hats and cheerful expressions, bring a touch of magic to backyards around the world. Though far removed from their mythological roots, these modern representations still carry the essence of the gnome's connection to nature and the earth. In the whispers of the wind and the rustle of leaves, there are tales of mystical beings known as sylphs. These enchanting spirits of air have fluttered through the pages of mythology and folklore for centuries, captivating the hearts and minds of those who listen to their stories. The concept of sylphs finds its roots in the rich traditions of European folklore, particularly in Germanic and Celtic cultures. These ethereal beings were believed to inhabit the air, controlling the breezes and storms that swept across the land. According to Paracelsus, sylphs were light, airy beings, often invisible to human eyes but occasionally seen as delicate, winged figures gliding gracefully through the sky. In his writings, Paracelsus depicted sylphs as beings of pure air, able to move through their element with the same ease that humans walk on land. They were considered the closest of the elementals to humans, as they moved through the air we breathe and shared the space of our everyday lives. Sylphs were thought to be guardians of the atmosphere, influencing the weather and the winds. Imagine a tranquil meadow at dawn, where the first light of day begins to illuminate the world. In the gentle morning breeze, the presence of sylphs can almost be felt, graceful figures with translucent wings, flitting through the air like butterflies. These spirits are said to be as elusive as the wind itself, appearing as shimmering forms that dissolve into the ether as quickly as they are seen. Sylphs are known for their ethereal beauty and their connection to the sky. They are the artists of the air, painting the clouds with their delicate touch and orchestrating the dance of leaves and petals in the wind. Their presence is a reminder of the unseen forces that shape our world, the invisible currents that carry seeds, rain, and whispers across great distances. Throughout history, sylphs have inspired a wealth of stories, poems, and artistic depictions. In many tales, they are portrayed as benevolent beings, guiding lost travelers with a gentle breeze or bringing comfort on a stifling summer day. Their ethereal nature and connection to the sky have made them symbols of freedom, intuition, and the ever-changing nature of life. Aside from the fire elemental salamander, which we will discuss later, sylphs are perhaps the most popular elementals in modern literature. You can often find them in books, TV shows, anime, and manga. In these stories, sylphs frequently serve as companions to the main character or play significant roles as important characters in the narrative. One of the most famous literary references to sylphs is found in Alexander Pope's The Rape of the Lock, a satirical poem in which sylphs play the role of protectors and overseers of the heroine, Belinda. Pope's sylphs are whimsical and delicate, reflecting the playful and light-hearted qualities often associated with these spirits. Beyond their mythological and literary representations, sylphs hold a special place in spiritual and esoteric traditions. They are seen as symbols of the intellect and the mind, representing clarity, insight, and the power of thought. In various forms of magic and ritual, invoking the spirit of the sylph is believed to bring inspiration, creativity, and a heightened sense of awareness. Sylphs are also associated with the breath of life, the vital force that animates all living beings. In practices such as meditation and yoga, focusing on the breath is a way to connect with the element of air and, by extension, the sylphs. This connection is thought to bring about a sense of peace, balance, and harmony. Sylphs, as the elemental spirits of air, embody the freedom and fluidity of the wind, encouraging us to embrace change and to soar to new heights in our own lives. Their stories invite us to listen to the whispers of the breeze, to find inspiration in the clouds, and to honor the unseen forces that shape our world. If you enjoy this type of content, consider subscribing. It's free and you can unsubscribe later. In the flickering glow of a campfire or the blazing heart of a roaring forge, ancient legends speak of mysterious beings known as salamanders. These elemental spirits of fire have captivated the imaginations of people across cultures and centuries. The myth of the salamander dates back to antiquity, with roots in both European and Middle Eastern traditions. Unlike the modern amphibian that shares its name, the mythological salamander is a creature of fire. Its origins can be traced to the writings of ancient philosophers and naturalists who observed salamanders emerging unharmed from logs thrown into fires, a phenomenon that likely inspired their association with flames. Imagine a dark, enchanted forest where the night is illuminated by a crackling bonfire. Within the heart of these flames, unseen to most, resides the salamander. These beings are often depicted as slender, lizard-like creatures, their bodies glowing with an inner fire. They are the elemental spirits of fire, embodying the transformative and purifying power of this primal force. In many cultures, fire is seen as a symbol of transformation, destruction, and rebirth. Salamanders, as the guardians of fire, are believed to possess the ability to control and manipulate flames. They can ignite fires with a mere thought, walk through blazing infernos unscathed, and use their fiery breath to forge weapons or heal wounds. Their presence is both feared and revered, for fire is a force that can both create and destroy. Just like the previous elemental spirits, Paracelsus played a crucial role in shaping our understanding of salamanders as elemental beings. He described salamanders as long, narrow, and lean creatures, able to move through flames as effortlessly as humans move through air. Paracelsus viewed these elemental beings not as spirits in the traditional sense, but as entities existing between physical creatures and spirits. They were thought to lack immortal souls, a trait they could only gain through marriage to a human, which we will discuss after this one. According to Paracelsus, salamanders are beings of pure fire, thriving in their elemental environment but perishing if they stray too far from it. Salamanders play a crucial role in maintaining the balance of the fire element in nature. They infuse life with the spiritual fires necessary to sustain all organic and inorganic matter, acting as the agents that control the spiritual material oscillation within every atom. Their presence is essential for the existence of life, from the smallest spark to the most intense flames, ensuring the continuation of the life force within all things. Without them, fire could not exist. They are often depicted in medieval lore as resembling lizards, glowing with an inner fire, or as small fiery balls that dart across fields and homes. In more elaborate accounts, they are described as towering, flaming giants draped in fiery robes, embodying the very essence of fire. In one particularly vivid tale, the salamander is said to have been born in the heart of the sun and sent to Earth to teach humans the secrets of fire. This myth highlights the salamander's role as a bearer of knowledge and a bridge between the mortal world and the divine. In alchemical traditions, salamanders held a significant place. Alchemists, who sought to transform base metals into gold and discover the elixir of life, believed that salamanders possessed the secret to controlling and mastering fire. The Rosicrucians, a mystical secret society, claimed to have the ability to see and interact with elemental beings, including salamanders. They believed that through specific rituals and preparations, they could summon these fire spirits and harness their power. This belief in the tangible presence of elementals underscored the mystical and esoteric dimensions of alchemical practices. In ritual magic, salamanders are often called upon to assist with purification and protection. Their fiery nature is believed to burn away negative energies and obstacles, leaving a path clear for new beginnings. To connect with the spirit of the salamander is to embrace the power of fire within oneself, its warmth, its light, and its ability to transform. In various spiritual practices, invoking the spirit of the salamander is believed to bring about change, renewal, and the burning away of the old to make way for the new. Imagine the tranquil surface of a moonlit lake, the gentle babbling of a forest stream, or the rhythmic crashing of ocean waves. Within these aquatic realms dwell the mysterious and captivating beings known as Undines. The legend of Undines finds its roots in European folklore, particularly in the traditions of Germanic and Celtic cultures. These ethereal beings are closely associated with water, embodying its fluidity, beauty, and mysterious nature. The term Undine derives from the Latin word unda, meaning wave, highlighting their intrinsic connection to all bodies of water. Paracelsus described them as graceful, often invisible entities that reside in rivers, lakes, oceans, and waterfalls, and as crucial components of the natural world's balance. Paracelsus' writings brought a new dimension to the myth of Undines, portraying them not merely as mythical creatures but as essential guardians of their element. According to Paracelsus, Undines are beings of pure water, thriving in their aquatic habitats but unable to survive outside of them. Picture a secluded woodland pool, its waters clear and still, reflecting the emerald canopy above. In the soft murmur of the water, one might sense the presence of Undines. These beings are often depicted as beautiful, ethereal women with flowing hair, their bodies shimmering with an otherworldly light. They are the spirit of the water made manifest, guardians of its purity and protectors of its secrets. Undines are not merely passive inhabitants of their aquatic realms. They are its vigilant guardians. They are said to have the power to influence the flow of water, summon rain, and create storms. In many legends, Undines act as protectors of the waters they inhabit, ensuring that they remain unspoiled and in balance. Those who disrespect or pollute their domains often face the Undines' wrath, encountering misfortune or even being drawn into the depths. The allure of Undines has inspired countless stories and works of art throughout history. This romantic tale tells the story of a water nymph who falls in love with a mortal knight, exploring themes of love, loss, and transformation. Undine's tragic love story has resonated with readers for centuries, symbolizing the intersection of human and elemental worlds. In many folk tales, Undines are depicted as both benevolent and vengeful. They might bestow blessings of fertility and abundance on those who respect their waters, but they can also be fearsome, luring the unwary to a watery grave if they dare to desecrate their realms. Beyond their mythological and literary representations, Undines hold a special place in spiritual and esoteric traditions. They are seen as symbols of emotion, intuition, and the subconscious mind. In various forms of water magic, invoking the spirit of the Undine is believed to bring healing, clarity, and purification. Their fluid nature teaches us about adaptability, the ebb and flow of life, and the depths of our own emotions. In contemporary times, Undines continue to captivate the imagination. They appear in fantasy literature, films, and artwork, often depicted as mermaid-like creatures or water nymphs. Their enduring presence in modern culture speaks to our fascination with the mysteries of the natural world and the allure of the unknown depths. Paracelsus observed that Undines are comparable to humans in size, whereas Sylphs are more rugged, coarser, longer, and stronger. Gnomes are diminutive, while Salamanders are elongated, narrow, and slender. Each type of elemental can navigate through its specific element with the same ease that humans move through air. For instance, gnomes can traverse through rocks, walls, and soil. Sylphs, being the most akin to humans in Paracelsus' view, move through air as we do, but they would burn in fire, drown in water, and get stuck in earth. Paracelsus asserted that elementals remain healthy within their respective chaos, as he termed their natural element, but perish if placed in another. In Paracelsus' philosophical framework, human beings consist of three parts: an elemental body, a sidereal spirit, and an immortal divine soul. Elementals, however, lack this final component, the immortal soul. He proposed that through marriage with a human, an elemental and its offspring could acquire a soul, thus attaining immortality. The idea of elemental marriage was further popularized in the 1670 French satire Contes de Gabalis by Abbé de Montfaucon de Villers. This work, written in the form of a philosophical dialogue, expanded on Paracelsus' theories. The titular character, the Count of Kabbalah, explained that members of his mystical order abstained from marrying humans to retain their freedom to bestow souls upon elementals. In Contes de Gabalis, the terms sylphide and gnomide were used to refer to female sylphs and gnomes. The text also noted the rarity of male nymphs, undines, and the infrequent sighting of female salamanders. The narrative painted a picture of elementals seeking human partners to achieve immortality, thereby intertwining human and elemental destinies in a mystical and romantic dance. The Rosicrucians, a secretive mystical society, claimed to have the ability to see and interact with elemental spirits. They believed that initiates could gain the vision to perceive these beings by purging their eyes with a legendary alchemical substance known as the panacea or universal medicine. Additionally, rituals involving the exposure of glass globes filled with elemental substances to sunlight for a month were said to reveal these spirits to the initiated. The Rosicrucians held that elementals, though longer lived than humans, ceased to exist upon death unless they married a human. Conversely, if an elemental married an immortal being, the immortal would gain the elemental's mortality. This belief underscored the transformative power of such unions, suggesting a profound exchange of attributes between the mortal and the elemental. But if an elemental body and an immortal divine soul are all that elementals need to gain immortality, what about the third component, the human spirit? Are they even connected to the elements? This ties back to the question I posed at the very beginning of the video about the elusive fifth element, the element that binds all other elements together. In the realm of mythology and ancient philosophy, the four classical elements, air, water, earth, and fire, are often cited as the fundamental building blocks of nature. However, many traditions also speak of a mysterious fifth element, one that transcends the physical and touches the divine. This elusive fifth element is known by various names across different cultures and philosophies, but it commonly represents a unifying force or the essence of life itself. In Western alchemical traditions, the fifth element is often referred to as the quintessence. The term derives from the Latin quinta essentia, meaning fifth essence. Alchemists believed that this quintessence was the purest form of matter, an ethereal substance that permeates all things and binds the other four elements together. The pursuit of this quintessence was seen as a quest for spiritual enlightenment and the philosopher's stone, a legendary substance capable of turning base metals into gold and granting immortality. While in ancient Greek philosophy, the fifth element was known as ether, also spelled ether. Philosophers such as Aristotle posited that ether was the substance of the heavens, an immutable and divine element that filled the cosmos beyond the terrestrial sphere. Unlike the mutable earthly elements, ether was considered incorruptible and eternal, embodying the perfect nature of the celestial realm. Aristotle described ether as the material that composed the stars and planets, distinguishing it from the earthly elements that make up the sublunary world. And in Western esoteric and occult traditions, the fifth element is frequently referred to as spirit. This representation of the fifth element is likely one that many of us are familiar with. This element is seen as the animating force that breathes life into the physical world. Spirit represents the intangible and immortal aspect of existence, often associated with the soul and the divine spark within each individual. In the practice of ritual magic, invoking the element of spirit is believed to connect practitioners with higher planes of reality and the spiritual dimension of life. Throughout various mythologies, the fifth element is portrayed as a bridge between the mundane and the sacred. It is the ethereal substance that grants life, binds the universe together, and transcends the limitations of the physical world. The concept of the fifth element serves as a reminder of the interconnectedness of all things and the presence of a higher order within the chaos of the material world. Whether referred to as quintessence, ether, or spirit, this element embodies the pursuit of knowledge, the quest for spiritual enlightenment, and the understanding of the universe's deeper mysteries. It invites us to look beyond the tangible and to seek the divine essence that unites and sustains all of existence. But when you think about the four elemental spirits, they resemble mythical creatures like naiads, dwarves, or even fairies. Fortunately, I have a video that delves into the different races in mythology. Click the video on the left to watch it. For insights into the most powerful versions of these races, click the video on the right. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on future uploads.